Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing good today. And if you're not, just hang in there. From the title of the video, you can see that we're going to be talking about post-concussion syndrome again. And specifically, I wanted to talk about speech therapy and post-concussion syndrome. I know when I first heard about being recommended to go to speech therapy, I was a little bit confused. Because, when you think of speech therapy, you think of stuttering or not being able to pronounce words correctly and, speaking to me or listening to me speak. You don't think that I have a problem with my speech, which I don't. But speech therapy definitely has much more to do with just the way that your speech sounds. So I'll try to do my best. I have some notes here for myself. But basically, when you think of speech therapy, you can just really think about your cognitive part and your thinking. And I guess, basically how does, what the information that you retrieve, the information that you process, how does that come out? And yeah, so it's all about processing and your cognitive side of things. So yeah, so I'm going to talk about I'm currently in speech therapy. I already did physical therapy, and I will do another video on that and give some at home exercises that you can do. I also want to talk a little bit about hearing also. So like I said, I am currently in speech therapy. I go one time a week. I also did have a hearing test done, and I did have an auditory processing test done, which, I'll probably come back in the average range. I felt like I did okay. And like I explained to them, I know that I might seem like I'm functioning at a very normal level, but when it comes down to really doing things and, I just know that I'm not functioning at 100% like I was pre-accident. So anyway, hearing test, auditory processing, and I really just want to tell you what it's like. So let's jump right to it. All right, so once a week I go to speech therapy, and some of my issues are, so it's not going to be the same for everyone, but some of my issues are short-term memory, issues with, if I'm in a crowded room and there's a lot of background noise, it's hard for me to concentrate if someone's talking to me. If I'm reading something and someone's trying to talk to me at the same time, I can't really focus. Maybe reading instructions, I might need to read them over and over and over again to really understand what the question is asking me. Things like that. Let's see, word retrieval, I might get stuck, or if I'm trying to explain things, I will get stuck. So yes, that's the best that I can explain it to you. That way, if you can relate, then you know that maybe some of these things that I'm doing right now might be able to help you too. So maybe you can ask your doctor, and you can honestly do some of these things at home. Here are some tips that my speech therapist, pathologist, I think they're called, gave me on what to do. So for word finding, if you're having trouble with word finding, some of the things that you can do is to create a mental map. Example, if someone asks you to name cities around name 10 cities, right? So what you can do is a couple different things. You can picture the map in your head, if you're good with that, and maybe go down the East Coast, go around, go up. You can do things like that. You can use things that's relatable to yourself. So think about where you live, where you used to live, where you've been on vacation, places you've always wanted to go, things like that. So if you keep doing those types of exercises in different categories, your mind will get, you're basically training your mind to think in a new way, or to use an aid to help you get there, right? If you are given a task and you can't think of the word, and one of the exercises is name 10 office supplies or something like that, then another tool that you can do is look for cues. So maybe look around the room and you say, okay, paper, pen, staples, paper clip, things like that, right? And those types of things will help you. If you're having trouble thinking of a word, another thing that you can do to help you is to think of something that's similar or that's common. So, I can't give you an example right now, but that's one of the tricks to use, okay? One of the tips. For those who might suffer for like I said, like understanding what people are saying, if you're having a hard time with like people talking too fast, and then you can't like interpret the like what they're trying to say, here's some tips for that. So first, you want to like see if you can be in a quiet environment. A lot of times that like background noise and like all those other distractions make it harder. If you're gonna have a meeting and it's gonna be like a one-on-one meeting or something like that, ask for like notes or maybe like an outline of what you're gonna be talking about. That way you have something to sort of like guide you so you can follow along. This one, let people know if you need them to slow down. Like, try not to be like ashamed of that, or if you need to ask somebody to like repeat something, do that. Another thing you could do is also like introduce like interruptions, like polite interruptions. Don't like, obviously like, cut somebody off or whatever, but you want to like break down those longer conversations. Maybe you could repeat what you did hear. That way you could like ask for clarification, things like that. So those are just a couple of the little tips that she gave me on word finding, having conversations. Another thing that I like to do that I've like actually, told her that I do this. I was out and it was very noisy and I had like friends at the table and I had like two people trying to like get my attention to talk to me about something. And so like actually like turning your body and like focusing your attention towards that person, making eye contact, really like being present to absorb the information. So those are just a couple things. Now, we also do some synonyms. So, pick a word, give 3 synonyms for that word. Let's say like humorous, funny, hilarious, amusing, comedic, things like that, right? So that's another game that you can play and you can do, and you can test yourself. Maybe have somebody like make a list for you, things like that. So, it's like hard to explain this. I'm trying to like the best that I can to explain it to you. And I'm going to show you these worksheets here that she did give me. And these are some things that I work on like at home. So, okay. So I'll show you the worksheets in just a second. There are also some apps that you can use on your phone. One of the apps that I've been using for a little bit now is Luminosity. And they have a free version. You'll get like 3 different games a day. And then obviously you can pay more and unlock like different levels and things like that. But I'm using the free version for right now. She also gave me some other apps today that I have not tried out, but feel free to check them out and let me know how you like them in the comments. So the one is called Spaced Retrieval app. I think it might be called something else, but just look in your app thing and The other one's called Mind Trap, and it has like riddles and like brain teasers and picture puzzles. And then the last one is Word Retrieval app. I think that's what that's called. And I think she said that one actually does cost money, and it might be like $9 or something. I haven't had a chance to check those out, but I figured I would share those with you too since I'm doing this video today. So yeah, so there's those apps that you could use to work on those. And so, I really just wanted, I know it's like, it's hard for me to explain it, but also like people are always like, oh, I was just like, told that to go to speech therapy, like what do I expect, like what am I gonna do, whatever. And so like it really depends on like which area you're struggling with, and that's where your like games or your things that you work on will be more like geared to. So I can only speak on like what I'm doing for the issues that I'm having. So like I said, like word rearranging, categories, word finding, synonyms, things like that. And then, obviously, she'll like ask me how my week was and if anything happened, did I have any like issues or struggling, or if I did, like what did I do to sort of like overcome them. And then now this is one thing, be aware, my sessions are only 30 minutes long, which I thought they were going to be like hour sessions. So like 30 minutes is not very much time. And so I don't know if it's the same like everywhere, but my sessions are only 30 minutes. So if yours are the same, or, don't be surprised by that. I was, 30 minutes goes by like that. So make sure you like use your time wisely. Okay, so before I show you the worksheets, I'm just gonna quickly, I wanted to go over like the hearing part of it. So the hearing, I had my hearing tested because of I have like ringing in my ears and like humming and stuff, and it's there constantly. And obviously, it's not like overpowering where like, if there's like background noise and there's other things going on, I can't hear it. It's much more like, apparent when I'm going to sleep or when it's very quiet or things like that. Not like a lot of noise. I can hear it. And other times it does like elevate, and it gets louder. So, it, yeah, it's called tinnitus. So I guess, that's a sort of normal thing that could be a part of your post-concussion syndrome, one of your symptoms, and just for like some frame of reference, I'm a year and 4 months post-injury or post-concussion. So, and like things get better, and they might not get better 100%, and it's definitely not the way that it was in the beginning. Like in the beginning, I was like hysterically crying because I thought I was going to be like stuck this way, where I just like constantly felt this like buzzing in my head, and just terrible. It was a very rough first, like I would say 4 to 6 months. So anyway, I do have other videos on here just describing A, what happened, B, like how I felt in the beginning and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to check those out, check those out. Anyway, back to the hearing part of it. So like for tinnitus, there's really nothing that you can do to like get rid of it. But there are some tips on how to manage it. Unfortunately, so first get an evaluation. Get your tinnitus evaluated. I don't know all the ins and outs of that, but they'll just give you like, I'm not really sure. Okay, so anyway, get an evaluation. Number 2 is protect your ears. That way they don't get any more damage. So like loud music, things like that. There's different types of ear protection that you can use. Obviously the little like foam things stick inside. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other ear things. I've got a pair on Amazon to like help me out. I can't even figure out how to get them in my ear, so I don't know. So tinnitus can lead to like hearing loss, and I think that's in like extreme cases. I'm not there, so I'm not gonna give you any information on that because I don't know enough about that. You could definitely look that up and talk to an audiologist if you think that that might be something that you're struggling with. So like there's other sound therapies. I have to read off this paper because I don't know this stuff by heart. So masking, exposing the person to an external noise that's loud enough to partially cover the sound of the tinnitus. So let's see, what did she say? Like a noise machine, things like that if you're having a hard time. Same thing, it's like a distraction. You use the external sounds to kind of divert your attention there. And there's some other things there. Seek advice, overall being. So tinnitus may fluctuate. These fluctuations may be dependent on many factors. So it's important to take care of your general health. Your diet, for one. There may be foods that influence tinnitus. Minor levels of salt, caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol in your diet. Monitor the levels of those things in your diet to see if there's an impact on the tinnitus. So you want to monitor your salt, caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol. Physical activity, exercise reduces stress, which is known to exacerbate tinnitus. Big word. Okay, so yeah, I noticed that too. Like if I'm under a lot of stress or I'm like really, really tired or I'm not feeling well just with my other general symptoms, that tinnitus will be a little bit louder, more noticeable. And then stress reduction, patients may explore options of relaxation, including yoga and meditation of ways of managing stress and therefore reducing the intensity of tinnitus. So there you have it. Some tips on managing your tinnitus. The other part of the hearing thing was the auditory processing test. And so the auditory processing is the issue that I have when there's like background noise or someone's talking too fast or I'm getting too much information at one time. Let's see. Individuals with auditory processing disorder may have difficulty understanding speech in noisy situations, shows speech and language delays, misunderstand oral directions, be unable to follow multi-step directions, unable to distinguish between similar sounds or words that sound alike. I was having this issue a little bit with like D and T and things like that. But since I am a little bit older, I'm not a child, let's say, I have more life experience. So if I'm trying to figure out a sentence, I can use the context clues to know that it said, cat and not cab, right? Or something along those lines. Easily distracted or annoyed by loud or sudden noise. Do better in quiet settings, yes. Ask for frequent repetitions or clarification, and have difficulty understanding jokes or figurative language. So, auditory processing is another thing. I'm still waiting on those results back, and we'll see what happens. And if anything comes of it and they have me do anything different, I'll definitely share that with you as well. So let's take a look before we wrap this up at some of the worksheets and some of the things that, maybe you guys can do at home to help yourself out, or at least know what to expect if you are dealing with some of the same symptoms or issues that I am, and what to expect if you do go to speech therapy. And they're not all the same, so it might be a little bit different, but here's a little heads up. Anyway, let's take a look at these worksheets. Okay, here's the first one. I actually just got this one today. Here's these other notes. Notes to keep me on track. I'm still all over the place. Anyway, let me get through this really quickly if you could see this. Okay, so this one is providing associated words. So, example, ocean, water, salt, boat, wet, wave deep, right? So coffee, elevator, book sounds easy. Once you start doing it, not so easy. So this one I was just given today. This is a newer thing that we're doing. So that's one of the types of worksheets. These other ones I've already done. Category members. So fill in the appropriate category members. The answer in each box should begin with the letter on the left. So colors that begin with B. And I made it more I gave myself a couple, and down here's cities, and then you would go down and then, across, things like that. So that's another one of them. Makes you think. And then this one, she had me do like rearranging the words. So you're going to rearrange the letters in each item to determine the word being defined. Example, coat. And then you would like unscramble these letters to see what they're trying to say. And then it would be jacket. And then boom, same for all of these. And then she said to make 3 synonyms out of this word here. Some easier than others. Obviously like 3 synonyms for a cowboy movie. I don't know if you could think of an old film. That's what I got. So that's another one. So the 3 synonym game, rearranging the words. This one was pretty easy for me. Category members, a little bit more difficult. And then this one here is probably going to be actually a little bit more difficult too, because I was having a little bit of trouble in session with that. So those are the worksheets there. Yeah. So yeah, those are the worksheets. Those are some of the tips that I have. That's some of the stuff that I guess you couldn't expect when you're going to speech therapy. At least that's what I'm doing. So maybe it's a little bit of insight. You might do something different. If you do, I would love to know. And, feel free to share. Hopefully this was helpful. All I can say is it gets better from what I don't know. Look, everyone's thing is completely different. I had wobbly sea legs. I had just complete dizziness constantly. It wasn't fun. I know you understand it. If you've dealt with post-concussion syndrome. So it's not easy. It's a hard road on top of all the other stuff that, paperwork and going here and doing this, making phone calls. It's confusing. It's discouraging. My doctor said after my physical therapy, well, I guess this is as good as it's going to get, which was really not like helpful or like supportive really. And I had to like initiate like, well, hey, the neuro psychologist said I should do speech therapy as well. She said, oh, I don't know. I don't think it's going to help at this point, but you can give it a try. So whether it's helping or not, is it going to cure me? No. Is it going to give me tools to navigate and feel more comfortable when I'm talking to people and not make me feel like stupid or like less than, or, and even now I get stuck. When I'm talking to people in public, I catch myself like pausing for way too long, and I'm like, speak, say it, but getting what I want to say out sometimes isn't the easiest thing. So that's what I'm working on. And, and there's some other issues that just weren't there before. I think I was functioning at a pretty high level before. I had a job that required lots of multitasking and supervising and running around, and I was on my feet all day long. And, I just can't do those things anymore. But I know that I'm good at a lot of things, so I'll find something else that I can do. So yeah, don't get too discouraged. Obviously, those days are going to be there where you feel down and you get down on yourself. But we just have to like really dig deep inside and know that it will get better. And hopefully for some of us, it gets 100% better, But anyway, I don't want to keep rambling on about this. If you have any questions about speech therapy, about the hearing, the tinnitus, the auditory processing, Anything that I discussed in this video, definitely leave a comment. If you don't want to leave a comment and you want to like reach out personally, I don't know, just leave a comment and I'll figure out a way to contact you, or we can email or something. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Like I said, I will come back with another video on some PT exercises that you can do at home. Hopefully it's a lot less rambling and more just showing. I'm probably just better at showing than talking at this point. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Stay safe. Summer's on its way. We're going to get that vitamin D that we need. For those of us who are kind of like trapped in the house a lot and can't drive or go anywhere, getting outside and getting some sun will be good for us. So keep your heads up, and I'll see you next time.